They're trying to get my attention. It's very hard not to feed them. Probably going to feed them. Hello my darlings, and welcome to a new vlog. I'm going to start with, I apologize for the blowers. They've been going for hours, so I'm just going to steam through ahead. We're going to do the tarot card pick. So I've only got 10 prompts and I'm just going to shuffle. I'm going to do this one. Okay, we've got the sun. And the prompt for the sun is best cover. That's kind of fun. I might do best cover out of the physical books I have here. Okay, so we've got A Song of Legends Lost by M.H. Ayindi, and this is just a typical fantasy cover, so I'd give that a 3 out of 10. We've got The Department of the Vanishing by Joanna Bell. I would probably give this a 5. The Keeper of Magical Things by Julia Leong. It's very cute. I'd give that a 5. We've got Westwood Women by Alice Martin, but this is the ugly cover. I'm going to put the other cover up here, and I actually really like this cover. It's very eye-catching. So I'm going to give that a 6.5. And then we've got Soft Serve, which was a cover grab for me by George Kemp. I think Soft Serve, I'm going to give that a 7. Then we have Imperfect Creatures by Joe Butler. I really do like this. I'll put the other picture up here. That is really cool. I'm going to give that an 8.5. 8.5? Ew. Okay, now we have The Book of I by David Gregg, and I really love this cover. I'm going to give this an 8.5. Yeah, 8.5. So this is, actually I'm going to give it a 9. I actually really do like this cover. I don't love this thing. Who decided that was a good thing? 9 out of 10. So this is the winner. This was the one that's set in Scotland, 825, in a monastery that has been raided. And it's supposedly a humorous tale of the Dark Ages. So that will be my tarot pick for this reading vlog. We are now going to do some school tours with Indiana. She has to choose her high school for next year. Crazy times, guys, crazy times. So that's what we've got going on. I also need to pop into the bookstore because I ordered in a book to read. So I'll show you that when I get home. This is a book I picked up. So this is Female Loneliness Epidemic by Danielle Chelosky. This is something that I would consider a weird book, and I will be reading it in this vlog. So cute. Hello lovelies, I don't have time to update you on the books I've read because it's all my school pickup, but I am doing the Kobo cull and I forgot to tape myself. The book that I got for my Read It or Delete It oldest book on my Kobo challenge was The Ghost Sequences by A.C. Wise. So this says it is an elegant collection of tales teeming with frightful and tragic events, yet profoundly and intimately human. These chilling tales will engross and enthrall all. So it is a horror short story collection. I also went to the library. I picked up A Forest Darkly by A.G. Slatter. This is about a witch who lives in the woods battling her own demons, and then one evening a young woman arrives at her door pursued by godhounds who wish to destroy all those practicing magic, and her solitary existence is disrupted. We've then got, this is a book for a reading blog and another book for a reading blog. So you'll see those in those reading blogs, but I'll update you tomorrow properly. Hello lovelies, so let me tell you what I have been reading. So, before that, I'll start by saying I was going to do the Hugo Awards vlog, but I decided not to. I did read one of the books though from their nominees because I thought I was going to do it. So I'm just going to insert that clip of me talking about The Summer War by Naomi Novik. The Summer War by Naomi Novik was a 3.5. I just read this. So this is about a princess who very much loves her older brother, but when she finds out that her older brother is going to be leaving the castle and leaving her, she absolutely freaks out and unknowingly curses him. She's getting her period and it turns out she has powers, and she tells her brother something along the veins of, if may nobody you love you in return. So he leaves anyway, now tragically cursed when it comes to love, and she spends kind of the rest of her life feeling bad about it, and then one day is caught up in a war between mortals and I think they were called the Summerlings, which are very fae-like creatures that come through this wall to wreak havoc on humans. They don't really go by the same laws and moralities as humans. They decimate humans, but her father has been very strategic, very cunning. He realizes that the fae can also be controlled through song in a way and influenced that way. And he just uses all of his wily, cunning ways to kill a lot of the fae that only come out during the summer and work its way up from a pauper into pretty much a duke with all these holdings and access to the throne. And he ends up betrothing his daughter to the king's son, but things happen and she ends up being kidnapped by the Summerlings. In this book, a lot of themes were about words having power. She literally does curse her brother with her rage, and then it's also about guilt and sort of making things right, reparation. Family bonds are strong, so the father, his two sons and his daughter is explored in this. A lot about war, because the humans are constantly at war with the summer immortals. And I gave this a 3.5. Celia to me was just a very shitty sister. She is incredibly lucky that her brothers love her so much and are so loyal to her that they would be willing to sacrifice everything to save her. Me personally, I would have pushed her out of the tower myself. So I didn't love her. I found her quite selfish and brattish and impulsive. Her brothers, on the other hand, my heart went out to them. Even the Summer King, who was beholden in a way to the ways of his kind, even though he didn't want what happened to happen. They're held to their promises that they make. So yeah, I gave this a 3.5. I thought it was pretty decent. And now you're back to me. So I picked up the art book by Phaidon Press, and I gave this one a 4.5 stars. This one features 600 artists that date from medieval to modern times, and they are represented by just one key work. And then you've got a very short, informative text on the piece and its creator. It's a nice sort of snapshot and variety of some artists. I would probably say that most of the artists are white, I feel. My favorite piece, if I had to pick one, is Ophelia by Sir John Everett Millais. It's a classic and it gets me every time. And I've seen it on multiple book covers as well. And then I picked up Take Back the Deep Estate by Kane. The author was kind enough to send me an e-arc of this. This is the sequel to The Deep Estate, which was a 5-star read. And this was also a 5-star read for me. In this one, you've got a very chaotic reality glitching mission that turns into an apocalypse, that turns into a coup. When John goes deeper into the back rooms. Do you want me to put that down for you, Bubs? She couldn't jump up. Yeah, it was tilted. So in this series, you have the Bureau of the Bazaar. It's like, okay, this series is like if Men in Black, Rick and Morty, Dungeon Crawler Carl, The X-Files, Lucky Day, Ted, but instead of a bear, you get a horny possessed garden gnome. It's as if all of them had a massive orgy in an interdimensional shag room blood pool. That is the vibe of this book. You have quite a few characters. My favorite are John and Edie. Edie is a metaphysical vampire. You're not quite sure what John is. John is just very happy-go-lucky though, and in this one they've been stuck in the back rooms. Okay, yeah, also add back rooms to that orgy as well. And there's a secret government called the Bureau of the Bazaar, and that's who they work for, and just everything is collapsing and time is weird. It's very chaotic. It is self-aware absurdism told in this very casual comedic voice. The narrator it like jumps around really quickly. You'll go from romance to, nothing's on page really, romance to time dilation to Lord of the Rings jokes to brunch to a hygiene crisis. It really is lol so random. It is horror that is filtered through internet humor and millennial pop culture references and conspiracy theories. So very heavy on the conspiracy theories. Turns out lizard people are real folks. And you will find out who really killed Epstein in this book. I learn a lot of new phrases. For instance, 6-packs or 8-packs are now known in my mind as cum gutters. So thanks for that, Kevin. But look, I think you either love the sense of humor and all the references and the jokes, or you don't. For me, I enjoy it. It's crass. It's for people who aren't easily offended. I think the tinfoil hat wearing folks will really enjoy it. And yeah, it was another 5-star read. I just have a fun time. It is very manic. It is all over the place, but it's exciting and it's interesting and it keeps my attention. And I like all the possessed objects and even some of the lizard people and what kind of shenanigans our main 2 characters get up to. But like I said, there's a few other agents that also have POVs in this. I'm more intrigued too by the receptionist and like to know more about them. But we do get some other reveals in here revolving our dude, John Doe, which, yeah, we'll see where we go. Obviously, there's another book coming, but another 5-star read for me. I also have some arcs that came in. So I'm listening to Decomposition book by Sarah Van Oz. This is narrated by Jess Nahikian and Gail Shalan. So this is about a woman who has gone to some sort of lake house to kind of sort herself out. It seems that she's had to stay in a mental institution. She also has a drop dead Fred situation going on, imaginary friend that she can see, hear and feel. That also seems to be the visage of one of her friends. And I haven't found out what exactly happened between her and this friend Michelle, but she's been sent to the woods by her mother, but she's been sent to this house in the woods by her mum. And one day she's just going in their backyard, which backs onto woods, and she finds a decomposing body. You do have to suspend your disbelief because our main character does seem to have maybe some sort of mental illness going on, because instead of calling the cops to say, hey, there's a dead woman in my backyard, she decides instead that she's going to make a new friend and pretty much treats this rotting corpse as her therapist. And, found the rotting corpse's diary. So we're also going into the dead woman's POV of what happened. So the dead woman went on a hike with 2 of her workmates and they got lost in the wilderness because they let themselves be, they were led by this dude bro who doesn't even know how to orient here. And so he got them lost and they're trying to survive. And obviously we know she does not survive, but how does she die? So that is probably the main thing that is pulling me through this book, finding out how it's Ava. I think Ava died. Did the other 2 people with her also die? But yeah, Savannah, who is our cuckoo lady that wants to have a dead friend, dead bestie. She's kind of crushing on her too because she's a lesbian. Ava was also a lesbian. So she's projecting some romantic feelings onto this putrid cadaver. So yeah, I guess a lot about connection in this. They both seem to be lacking connection. Survival, obviously, on Ava's end, queerness, queer longing, and just, yeah, a lot of, reality versus delusion. So I guess we'll find out how insane in the membrane Savannah is. Like, she's kept this going for over a week now, and I'm like, babes, it doesn't take a week to read a diary. Like, it's a composition book, and Ava, who was obviously dead, wrote decomposition book on the front, obviously when she probably knew that she was not going to make it out alive. So I'm like, ugh. We're getting descriptions of the changing nature of Ava's dead body. So yeah, I'm not loving it. It's feeling like a 3-star. It kind of reminds me of, oh my God, is it Bitter Moon? No, it's Bitter Corella. Moonflow. That's it. Moonflow by Bitter Corella. It's reminding me of that a little bit. But I will probably go all the way through with this one because I do want to get some answers. So the mystery of how Ava died is stringing me along, and also I kind of want to see how far Savannah goes. Oh, it's also reminding me for Human Use, which was about an app that allows you to swipe right on corpses, on dead people. So there's a bit of that in there as well. The cover is very cool. So currently reading that. Also got approved, very excited for this, for Kitten by Stacey. That's my daughter using the bathroom. This one is about like kind of a lost girl who imprints, I guess, on her boyfriend's chaotic little cat, and it causes her to question her life, and I think she thinks about becoming a cat, maybe. I can't quite recall, but something to do, a severe attachment to her boyfriend's cat. So, and I love the blue cover with the pearls. That's gorgeous. It's my favorite cover. So I'm excited to start that. I'll start that soon. I've also got Ghost Sequences by AC Wise to go on to as well. So that's what's lined up thus far. Today I'm taking my mum to the city. She wanted to go to Spellbox, which is the witch shop. I need to go to the library to pick up some more books, and then I might have some brunch and then come home. We got really lucky. It is the end of April, and somehow Melbourne is giving us 1 week of warm, sunny days. I'm so happy. So happy. It just fills me with joy. So I will take you out today and catch up with you later on. And we're going to the witch store. There's my wish list.
Coming by later
Why?
to drop off the Shein stuff.
Okay, I've just received book mail. I don't know what's in here, so let's have a look. Sylvie. Let's see. Oh my. Yep, I've got Windblown. I got Windblown. Oh, what's this? I don't know what this is. Let's have a look. Unexpected. What is this? Daughters of the Tide by Ariane James. It's an arc. This is so cool that I get arcs now. This is so cool. Let the Salka's song entice you into the ocean depths in a debut. Okay, I think it's set in 1923 in Tasmania. There's ghosts and secrets, historical fiction and folklore with a Tasmanian Gothic. Very exciting. Okay, oh my God, there's like marketing campaign stuff. Wait, let me read what this says. It says, fresh voice in the Australian scene. I was hoping it would say when it's due. Oh, June 26th. This is coming out June 26th. So thank you very much. I think this is HarperCollins. Who's this from? HarperCollins. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. I'll give that a go. I also went to the library and I've got some books. So I picked up Seasons of Glass and Iron by Amal El Matar. I have like this kind of relationship with this author, but I wanted to give it a go. This is, I think, short stories. It says it's fairy tales with teeth. So we'll see how we go. This is what I'm stoked for. A Good Person by Kirsten King. This is priority for me because I hate this cover. I like the other one. I think, oh my God, I've got leaves in my hair. My ex-boyfriend leaf blowed me for shits and giggles. Just blew a whole bunch of leaves into me. Hey girlies, so many cats fighting. This is about a woman who falls for a guy and then he breaks up with her and she puts a hex on him and he ends up dead. So I'm very excited to read this. It was Her House First by Cherie Priest. This is for a reading vlog book prize. And then we've got Weeding by Genevieve Lebleu. This is a get real weird with it kind of book. It says, what is this one about? It says it's about chain-smoking Beth, Maureen and Martha. They transform into a mutating, murderous, timeless story. Hypnotic drawings of roots, vines and alien blooms engulf bodies. It's about the nature of friendship. No idea. So we're going to go into this one. But yes, those are my updates for you. strawberry guavas have ripened, so I'm plucking away. The tip of her tail has gone brown because she sucks it so much. Look at your little brown tip. Hey, you little munchkin. Hello, beautiful people. I am back with some more updates. I have watched some films, so I'll start with those. So I watched Some Like It Hot. This is a rewatch for me. This is about two male musicians who accidentally witness a mob hit and then have to sort of run for their lives, and they disguise themselves as women and they join an all-female band. But both of these boys end up getting a thing for one of the characters, who's played by Marilyn Monroe. I love this movie. It's a 4.5 stars. The start of the movie is a bit dull. The first 10 minutes aren't great. Push through. I absolutely see how white chicks probably took inspiration from this film. There are a lot of parallels. I found it hilarious. I thought it was just a really good movie. I have a thing for men in drag in movies. I love it. And this was no exception. I had a fun time rewatching this. This isn't black and white, but yeah, this was one of my favorite films from my youth, and I wanted to see if I still enjoy it, and I still do. It's a 4.5 stars for me. I must say, I did find, is it Curtis Lee? What's his name? Tony Curtis? It was kind of hot, especially in drag. I just love a man in makeup. And then I started watching Wellington Paranormal. This is a TV series. It's along the veins of What We Do in the Shadows, because I think it's made by the same people. Crossed with the X-Files, crossed with Cops, and was it State Troopers? It's very comical, deadpan comical. It's about New Zealand cops who are sort of being part of a documentary, so they're being followed around, and they have started coming across cases that have a paranormal aspects. I think like werewolves and poltergeists and the like. But look, I love the humor and the absurdity and everything else, but they made the cops so inept, like so stupid. There'll be a woman crab walking on the ceiling, Exorcist style, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's a bit unusual. She's a bit acrobatic." And I'm like, she's fucking possessed. She's got the, "I am Beelzebub, but I am going to bring hell on earth." And like her hair's like blowing in the wind. It is beyond obvious that what they're looking at is a paranormal entity, but they're like, "Oh, that chick's a bit hairy. She might need a wax," and it's a fucking werewolf woman. So do you know what I mean? I can't handle that when it's just so in their face and they're oblivious. I'm like, it wasn't drugs. They were possessed by a demon, you know? So yeah, I watched a decent amount, but because they're just so stupid, like she'll be radioing like, "Dispatch, we need assistance." And then her partner will go, "I'm on my way." And she's like, "You're fucking next to me, bro. Like we're calling for outside help." Like they're that dumb. Yeah, I did enjoy it. It might be something I just pop on if I've got nothing else to watch, but like the cops do piss me off with their absolute incompetence and could you call it naivety? Just, I don't know. But yeah, I wanted to give it a go. All right, now on to the books. So I did finish Decomposition book by Sara Van Oz. This was narrated by Jess Nahikian and Gail Shalan, and I ended up giving this a 3.25. So this has a lot of lesbian love and limerence. We've got, to refresh your memory, a woman who's clearly got mental health issues finds a dead body of a woman in her backyard, and instead of calling the cops and reporting it, she forms a relationship with it and treats her like her therapist. Savannah, that character, does need proper help. She does need proper help. She has OCD, but her hallucinations are so real that she can literally taste the pussy juice. All right? So she needs to get some proper assistance. There is on-page rape in this, so do check the trigger. It's that kind of day. Do check the trigger warnings. I do feel like this could have been cut down. I think it would have worked better as a shorter book. There's a lot of just drawn out repetitiveness to it. I preferred Ava. So Ava was the lost hiker and the dead body. I preferred her POVs. I do feel like it's unrealistic that her and her hiking friends were out there surviving for months. I think they were in the Adirondacks for months. Or in New York. They were in the New York woods. I'm like, really? You survived that long and also no one found you? People have said that this is very similar to Yellow Jackets. I don't know that show, but a lot of people were commenting that in their reviews. There is on page Women Love and Women Sex. I would give it MA. It is detailed, but it's not kinky, but it's detailed. I will say too, I didn't love the narrator's voice for Ava. It's just that like, yeah, and then I was walking through the woods and I saw her and I thought, she's so beautiful. And yeah, it's this very deep, sort of sultry, sort of mask voice. And I just, for some reason, I don't love the way it sounds. The ending was flat for me after all of this. So it does go bonkers. Savannah is talking to a decaying, rotting body and envisioning herself with them. And like I said, she is unwell. She has suffered severe trauma, but it just ended in this, very flat, uninteresting way. It's a sad book. It's a sad girl book. So yeah, I gave it 3.25. I then went on to the Book of I by David Gregg. So I picked this for my tarot card prompt. This was about 3 people who were left on an island after a violent Viking raid. So we've got a midwife who survived, a priest who survived by hiding in the shitter, and one of the Vikings who was buried alive because his crew thought he was dead, but he was just fucking drunk off his ass. And they're left behind on this remote island, just the 3 of them. The start of the book was incredibly violent. They were throwing up kids and catching them on swords. So it did remind me of Between Two Fires. But then after the Vikings left, and it's just the 3 of them, it was really quiet and kind of dull. And it reminded me of Clear by Caris Davies. It was that kind of style. With one of the characters being a monk, there was a lot of scripture. Religious scripture in this, which I never love. I also can't imagine hooking up with a dude who participated in slaughtering your entire village, the entire island. Look, I get that, he's the only cock around, but like, because, the priest is married to God. Are you that desperate for dick? Like, really? Guess, she weighed up her options and she was like, I can put it behind me. I can move past it, and she did. But yeah, this book wasn't for me. I read half of it and I decided to DNF because it was just feeling like a 3-star. And then I picked up this one here, Female Loneliness Epidemic by Danielle Chelosky. This is a beautiful rose velvet cover. This is a chaotic collection of short stories that are a sort of modern collage of girlhood where connection is everywhere and yet nowhere. So everyone's talking, but no one's actually connecting. It's lonely, but like aesthetically, it captures how intimacy can feel both hyper available and also totally hollow in this digital age of isolation where everyone's always online, but still alone. So there was also a lot about identity as performance and desire versus detachment. Some Catholic guilt was thrown in there, a lot of a romantic delusion, looking at red flags through rose-colored glasses. And there was also an overlap of like addiction and boredom and intimacy. There were 20 short stories in this. My overall rating is a 3.5. Pretty much every story in this was a 3.5. There wasn't really any story that I hated. So most of them were entertaining. I think my favorite one was Bad Girl. That was the opening story. I gave that a 3.75. And it's about a girl with low self-esteem and a bit of a shame kink, and she seeks out a bad boy to punish her. You were both my escape and my prison. So yeah, the stories are itty bitty snapshots. Like this one is literally a page and a half of very, messy, bleak situationships, glimpses into these women's lives. The narrators are normally all very painfully self-aware, and yet they keep making the same shitty choices. The writing was very blunt, and it was hyper-specific and also quite detached. They were mostly just about the modern contradiction of craving connection whilst also performing indifference. It was a very dark, internet-brained portrait of female loneliness that was cringe and funny and fucked up and sometimes relatable. It did remind me a little bit of Weird Fucks by Lynn Tillman. I would say please check the trigger warnings for this particular collection. I then picked up Exquisite Corpses, Volume 2. So this had the next part of this graphic novel series by James Tinian the fourth and a lot of other people. This is about a bunch of elite killers who all descend on one very unlucky town on Halloween, where everyone, the partygoers, the workers, the children, are all part of the body count. So the rich close off a town. They all have their player, their psychopath that they send in to rack up the kills, and they're going to see who wins, who kills the most people. They kill the entire town. That's when it ends. So it's a very survival horror meets reality show, but fucked up. I can't remember what I compared it to last time. What's the name of that famous one? I'll probably remember it. I'll go look at my other review and I'll put it up there. It's kind of like this. It's a lot, the violence is like very graphic, very creative kills. It's got like a sense of spectacle to it and obviously voyeurism. It's just large scale carnage, my guy. And you've got like a few people who have cottoned on quickly of what's happening and are trying to survive. So it's just, yeah, look, I've got my favorite killer who seems to be a killer with a conscience and is not participating in killing the civilians and the innocents. She's kind of like picking off the other killers, and she wears this bunny mask and she's got a sword and she's fucking smoking hot. She's got like this mesh see-through thing. She's hot. So we still don't know what her gender is though. Is she just morally grey or is she actually a good guy? We have yet to see, because obviously it continues on with the next installment, but I'll read that when my library gets it in. And then I picked up Kitten by Stacey. So this was an arc from NetGalley about a woman and her boyfriend, and she gets attached to the boyfriend's cat. It's a very quirky book. We've got the boyfriend, James, who's very patient, very forgiving, and I honestly don't know why he is with our protagonist, Katie. Katie is just a very messy girl identity character. She is inept, she is careless, she, for instance, lets James's cat drink all of her coffee. Like, what the fuck? She then pees her pants in his car. She doesn't pay her rent. She's just avoiding adulthood. It's very failure to launch style. She's got a whole ton of mummy issues, and I must admit, I don't like being in her point of view. I don't like her. She's emotionally volatile. I don't see what she contributes to any of the relationships. Her former roommate, Lou, whom she owes money, calls her out on her shit. So thank God someone's calling her out on it. Like I said, I don't know why James is so attached to her. There is a lot of obsession. Everyone's like sort of obsessed with certain things in this book. And with her mummy issues, is obviously that is playing a key factor too, the mother-daughter tension in the background. It is a bit unhinged. It's softly absurd, like her obsession with his cat, who doesn't act like a fucking cat. This cat takes swims in the ocean. What? They just let it go. They let it go jumping into the ocean to swim. And I'm like, no. I don't even care if the cat loves water. Not in the ocean, my dude. It's a fucking cat. But yeah, you have to suspend your disbelief because, like I said, it's a weird girl book. For me, I don't know. I don't love the writing style, and it doesn't seem to flow the way the book is going. And there's a lot of there's a lot of telling over showing. So I'm not loving it. I will read it all because I want to see how it pans out, like where this goes. But at the moment, I'm just so irritated by Katie. I just don't want to listen to her anymore. But I'm still going on with that. I've got Ghost Sequences, which is a short story collection that I need to try out too, from the Kobo Cull. With the arc that I received, Daughters of the Tide, I might save that for the next vlog because I don't want to have too many books per vlog. So that's what I'm on at the moment. I am going out today. I was going to bed rot. Normally that's what I do on a Monday because it's the only day of the week where I don't have the children in the morning. So it's the one day I can just stay in bed and do nothing. But then I remembered, well, Chanel, you have spoons now. So seize the sunshine, bitch, and get your ass up because us Melburnians have been fucking #blessed, okay? We've gotten in the last week of April an entire 7 days of sunny, kind of warm weather. Glorious. Normally by now we're very much into the more winter autumn where it's raining and cold. But sun is shining, birds are chirping. I can go out without a jacket, so I want to make the most of it. Like I said, I do have more spoons these days, and the kids aren't coming back until after school, so I can go out and then come back and still rest before they come back. So yeah, I'm going to do I don't think it's aired yet, but I'm doing an activity for one of the screen to pages. So I won't be able to show you that stuff, but I also might go to the library. So I might do a library haul. So you've got some other B-roll footage for you, but I'm just, yeah, I'm here to have a magical day, and it's going to be a great day. I'm putting that out there already. I'm going to have a fantastic time out and about. So I will catch you guys later. Okay, I changed to a gloss. I feel like the matte was too matte. Let me know what you think. Matte or gloss? Okay, I am back. I'm definitely not keeping this dress. It's getting donated. I had to waddle like a penguin today because it's narrow. I cannot walk in narrow dresses. I need to be able to stride. I'm a strider. Speaking of strider, the new Lord of the Rings cast Jamie Dornan as a new Aragorn. Interesting. Okay, library haul. I've got Bad Fiction by Rebecca Sarah Leigh. Sophie Muller can make you into a better writer. That's why Alice and Walt are desperate to be in her creative writing class. Alice wants it. She wants Sophie's hand guiding hers to greatness, and then the book deal and the prizes and the plaudits. But there is gossip. Sophie will kill your darlings. All right. We've got Bird Deity by John Morrissey. David is a scout, and for 10 years he has plundered the ruins of an alien civilization about which he knows nothing. He's ready to go home a wealthy man, but everything is slipping out of his control. And then we've got Superfan. No one will ever love him like she does by Jenny Ting-Hui Tsang. They've never met, but this is the way it's supposed to be. They belong to each other. She stumbles upon Hourglass, America's new K-pop inspired boy band. She's memorizing the lyrics. Oh, K-pop boy band, Superfan. We've got a Sprayed Edge book here. I don't think that goes at all. Let me know if you think it does. Where'd they getting that teal from on the cover? A Fellowship of Librarians and Dragons. This is book 2. All right, I won't be reading that one. And then we've got Evil Genius by Claire Oshetsky, author of Portia. Portia ended up being a 3-star for me, but I want to give the author another shot. It says that this is a hilarious novel about a young woman's insatiable quest to carve her own path, even if she needs to step over a few dead bodies along the way, and it's set in 1974 San Francisco. So that's it. No other updates. I'm still reading Kitten. And yes, Katie is still annoying the shit out of me. Guys, I don't know how much more I can take of Katie. She's literally putting the cat's life in danger. She's almost killed the cat so many times. And then after the last time, she didn't even call James. James is the owner of the cat, not her. Didn't even call him to tell him what was going on. I can't, it's infuriating me. She's infuriating me. It's like, it's not your fucking cat. And you're endangering its life over and over again. And then you're excluding James, who's the owner, and you're not telling him shit. And now he said to her, don't leave the door unlocked. And she fucking did. And the cat's escaped. And I'm like, he's so forgiving. He literally just tells her, well, as long, once he finds out that, she's been ignoring his calls, and then he finds out the cat was at the vet in emergency, he's like, well, as long as you're okay. And I'm like, dude, what's on my mouth? Oh, it's light. Are you seriously just going to brush it off like that easy? If someone fucked with my cat, the amounts of times that she's fucked with his cat and almost killed it, I'd break up with him. I'd be like, you can never be around my cat. We can never be together if my cat's around, because you were in there. I can't. I'm absolutely crashing out right now. I am crashing out at this bitch. I cannot stand her. Just ignored his calls for a whole day while his cat's in the hospital. Imagine if his cat died. He didn't even know. She just told him afterwards, yeah, we had to rush her to hospital, and the next day, I'm sorry, but fuck this bitch. Fuck this bitch. Everybody in her life deserves better. Her boyfriend deserves a better girlfriend. Her friend deserves a better friend. Her mum deserves a better daughter. I hate her. I fucking hate her. This little Peter Pan bitch. She doesn't want to grow up. Is not responsible. Causes absolute devastation. Doesn't care. Is inconsiderate. ignores people. I don't get it. James, too fucking nice for his own good. It was like, dude, I can't like say, like, I don't want to spoil, but just unforgivable. What she does is unforgivable, and she doesn't care. She really doesn't care. I hated her. So I'm giving this book a 2 stars. Unfortunately, this wasn't for me. Now I'm trying to like get the rage out of my body. Okay, guys, I just read some of the stories in ghost sequences. They were fine. But they were not scary whatsoever. So I am DNFing that book, which means I have read 7 books, though I didn't realize I'd already read 7. So I'm going to finish up this vlog here, and I will sum up all the books that I have read. Let me actually put you on a tripod. Okie dokie, guys, let me sum up all the books that I read. So we've got the art book by Phaidon Press, which I gave 4.5 stars. A nice variety of art. The Summer War by Naomi Novik, which I gave 3.5 stars. Celia, winner of the Shittiest Sister Award. Take Back the Deep Estate by Kane, which I gave 5 stars and was my favourite read of this vlog. Get your mind out of the cum gutter and go read this book. Decomposition book by Sara Van Oz, which I gave 3.25. DIY Therapy. Yap Fest with a Rotting Corpse. Female Loneliness Epidemic by Danielle Chelosky. I gave this a 3.5. Love Language. Poor Decisions and Eye Contact. We have Exquisite Corpses Volume 2 by James Tinian IV. I gave this a 4.25. Burn It All Down. Kitten by Stacey Yu. I gave 2 stars. Katie fucking sucks. Those are all the books that I read for this reading vlog. If you have a favorite conspiracy theory, let me know it down below in the comments. And until next time, stay wild, star child.